And joining us now is Dr. Erroll Southers. He's a Homeland Security and Counterterrorism expert. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, investigators say human tissue was found in the area, but they stopped short of linking it to a possible suspect or a victim. What do you make of that?
Well, with all due respect, the first thing I want to do is thank those incredibly brave officers from Metropolitan Nashville Police Department for getting people out of the area as the announcement was being made it was going to be detonated. What's interesting is that the speculation about this being human tissue, the likelihood of it being someone who was in that vehicle is going to be very low. If that explosion, based on the images that we've seen thus far, was of the impact that we suggested is, that person inside would have been vaporized. So I would hardly doubt we're going to find any tissue from anybody who might have been inside that vehicle, but certainly someone who may have been in the area, someone who may have been walking, evacuated and came back perhaps. You may find someone there, hopefully not.
All right, officers say they were responding to shots fired. We also spoke to a witness just a while ago in the last hour who said he heard 2 sets of gunshots before the blast happened. Could it be possible that the suspect or suspects were trying to lure police officers there? But then there's that announcement that came beforehand that seems to appear that whoever did this didn't want people to get hurt. I mean, how do you connect the dots here?
It's quite possible. It's interesting that if you have a shots fired call, obviously officers are going to respond. But then, as you just mentioned, you've got a video, I should say an audio tape going out, removing people from the location with a warning that it's going to explode. That's an interesting tactic from decades ago that the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, used to employ. When they were going to attack something, they didn't want to kill people, but they definitely wanted to send a message. So they would give the authorities a certain time frame to get people out. So the two don't mesh. But what is good is that people were able to evacuate. They had a 15-minute time frame that was given. As I understand from one witness, it actually occurred some additional 15 minutes after that. So it was about 30 minutes after the first initial audio went out, and it did get people out of there. But that 911 shots fired call is interesting, and certainly will have to be investigated as regards to, was it shots fired or was it shots fired from the audio that was inside of the RV?
Mm-hmm. Do you see any significance to Nashville, to the AT&T building, the area, the time in which this explosion occurred, and also the fact that it was on Christmas Day?
You give us an incredible list of options here with regards to motivation. You've got one of 3 of the largest days in America: Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and Independence Day. So you've got Christmas Day, you've got Nashville. That's very interesting because the only thing that I can think of at this point is the proximity to the AT&T building, which of course is critical infrastructure. It caused massive outages for cell phones. It caused the FAA tower to slow down air traffic for a period of time. We have had a threat in the United States of an infrastructure attack within the last week, although not in that vicinity in terms of being Nashville. So if you want to send a message, Christmas Day is the day to do it. But again, it all goes back to this whole notion of removing all the people so that no one was possibly killed, which happened. So it'll be very interesting as this plays out. And of course, the type of device is going to give us a lot of clues with regards to who may have done this as well.
Does this seem like a sophisticated attack to you? I hate to ask you to speculate on what the motivations are, but when you look at the circumstances, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Well, again, as you say, I don't want the speculation to get ahead of the facts, but the first thing that came to mind was the incredible amount of damage that was done to the area. So the sophistication will come with regards to what type of device it was. They'll be asking people, what kind of smoke did you see? Different types of explosives have different types of smoke. For example, if it's white or light, it could be ammonium nitrate, whereas if it's dark, it could be something else. Was it a hydrogen-based bomb like TATP or triacetylene triperoxide? So what hit me at first was the amount of devastation that was done. But it was placed in front of a building. And if you know the attacks we had in 1993 on the World Trade Center, and then in 1995 in Oklahoma City, those acts were deliberately done to have the buildings pancake or collapse. This was placed in front, which suggests something a little bit different, but we'll have to see how it goes. But sophistication will certainly lie in the bomb. Every bomb has a fingerprint, and they'll figure out from analysis and investigation what this bomb was, how it was built, and possibly where it was built.
So if your authorities around the country, and especially at the federal level, what are you doing now in response to this bombing and maybe the possibility that there could be others to follow?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that. In Cincinnati earlier today, they actually evacuated buildings there near the federal building. There was an RV that was running and it was unoccupied, which of course at an airport or a federal building raises incredible alarms. Fortunately, there were no issues with that. They had explosive detection canines that came out. It's very cold there. Someone obviously left the RV running to keep it warm. So one of the things you're going to see around now is intel is going to be shared across the country to all the JTTS or Joint Terrorism Task Forces, to all the local authorities for any similar type incidents that might occur, or should say characteristics like RVs. It's interesting that an RV, or I should say a Ryder rental truck, was used in 1993 and 1995. But more importantly, this investigation now is going to be looking at what kind of bomb this was, where in fact it may have been developed, and they're going to be looking at social media, all the things that are out there on the open web and the dark web that may have led to a threat. As I understand it, there were no threats to AT&T, but that will be explored. So all kinds of virtual and physical examination is taking place right now to find out who is responsible for this, particularly as no one has claimed responsibility thus far.
Nashville's mayor said, quote, "This morning's attack on our community was intended to create chaos and fear in the season of peace and hope." Do you agree with that assessment? We talk about the message. What do you make of what the message could possibly be here?
Well, I think the mayor is exactly on target, no pun intended. You couldn't pick a better day than Christmas. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. People are staying at home. You can't see relatives, you can't travel, and now here we have an intentional explosion that occurs on Christmas Day. So I appreciate the mayor and his comments, and especially his comments about the community's resilience. He's already committed to rebuild the area. So his point is well taken. Typically, these incidents occur for a couple reasons. Number one, to invoke fear, and most importantly, to send a message. And the message was sent, was that here it is, the holiest day of the year for most religions, and it happened anyway.
All right, Mr. Southers, thank you so much for your analysis here, and we'll check back in with you a little bit later on in the show. We appreciate having you.
Thank you for having me.